All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. Lot to get to on today's episode. We are going to talk about the ParJay and the bet that we should have taken with the Knicks and Rangers. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Goldin Netflix series. I know a few of us have watched a few episodes of that. The Bruins getting eliminated after one of the best regular seasons in hockey. McDavid moves on. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs, the NFL draft, and then we've got nine questions for Q&A, so a lot to get to there, and then a play of the week, and then latest launch to wrap up this week. So a lot to get into on today's episode, but first, the usual, we'll start with what's on your mind. Lou, Ty's reading, so I'm going to start with you today. I'm going to let Ty finish maybe his what's on his mind segment, and we'll let you start it off today.
Okay, that's fine. I know that we were going to save NBA playoffs for later, but I would like to discuss it now, if that's okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think I misunderstood the Nuggets and how good the Nuggets are. I think I underestimated that one. It seems like they kind of got Phoenix on the ropes a little bit, which is going to be very, very interesting to watch. And then Golden State just doesn't go away. And I think we're going to, in 3 weeks' time, we're going to be talking about Steph Curry again. And it's going to be like, why didn't Steph Curry get respect? And the answer is, I feel like he does, but people just talk about him like he doesn't. Like every year, they don't die. They never go away. They're going to be back again. They're probably going to the Western Conference Finals. So, I don't know. I just feel like this is going to be another year of Steph Curry love, and over time, that keeps building up. So, just wanted to put that out there as a thought.
It's been building for decades now. I mean, the man has just as many titles as LeBron. He's the all-time three-point shooter. Like,
I know.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's honestly the same thing we've been having the conversation with LeBron for so many years. It's like, will it ever fall off? Like, will Father Time ever catch up? Like, I mean, LeBron's what, 37, 38 at this point? Like, I mean, look at the numbers he put up this year. It's incredible. And Steph Curry, right? It put a 50 in game 7 threes. I mean, it's unbelievable.
They are not as good as they usually are, and he's just carrying them on his back. So, and I feel like Tyler has a thought that he wants to share.
Just that he was nasty, but you know the Nuggets.
The Nuggets are a problem. They're a problem.
The Nuggets are the real deal.
Ty, let's just be clear though. I don't even think you picked the Nuggets or MPJ to go to the finals.
Neither did I.
No, I didn't. But I got enough. I got enough gas in that tank around the office, and people. You know, I've made my Nuggets fandom clear for enough time that I believe in them. But yeah, I thought the Suns would do better so far. But you know, series doesn't start till someone loses a game at home, as we just realized in the Rangers game 2-0. Really, this Rangers series 2-0 doesn't matter much. It's first to 4, and the Suns got a lot of firepower too. So I don't think that series is going over quick.
I just feel like they gave up too much with Bridges and Cam Johnson. Like they're missing something. They need something else on their team that they're not.
KD probably had one of his worst playoff games ever last night.
Yeah,
just didn't get it done.
But how many points? Like if he scores, 30 a night, and Booker gives you 25, that's just not enough.
Yeah, I mean the Nuggets are good, and they only let up 98 points. Even KD said typically that'd be a win for the Suns.
I kind of didn't respect it enough. That's on me. Hand up. That's kind of my point here.
I won a card from our OG group chat. Someone came in talking crazy talk after the Cavs won game 2 and was like, you want to put a $100 card on Knicks versus Cavs? I was like, yeah, for sure. And then we dusted them up. So, I think it's dealer's choice. We'll see. Probably, I might get a nice quickly card.
But about like a 101 Jalen Brunson.
Got one of them. Wasn't it a PSA 5 or something like that?
Dad smoked you on that, man. Hey, man, the best card's gone. Yikes. Still grab this. I got you.
Listen, sometimes you got to do it for the love. Knicks tonight, game 2. Rangers was devastating last night. That was one of the more painful things. Jay, congratulations to your New Jersey Devils. I hate you. I love you, but good luck. Jack Hughes was skating out of his mind He made every other player on that ice look like they were 47 years old.
It's a lot of talent for that Rangers team, man.
On the team?
Yeah, that team's – there's some
Yeah,
talent.
but they were all soft. They were all soft.
And slow.
Starting
You're
with
not
Panarin.
wrong.
Panarin went 6 games without a point, the longest in his career.
Honestly, like,
is not the player that Hughes is.
I definitely was rooting for the Rangers in that. Obviously, the reverse ParJay there. I was locked in on that. But I do like seeing Panarin lose and accomplishing less than he did in Columbus. Like, at least Columbus won a playoff series, like, with Panarin, and then he leaves. I'm still bitter about how he left.
What do you mean?
Yeah, just Panarin. He's like, yeah, I want to, don't want to be in
How
Columbus.
long has he been on the Rangers?
4 years.
So I'm pretty sure he's accomplished more than he did in Columbus.
What's he done in New York?
They've won multiple playoff series.
He did that in Columbus.
You said they won one playoff series.
True, you did just say that. That's a fact.
Okay, they won one playoff series. There's won 2 playoff series. So you went to New York to win a second playoff series.
Also, some would say that he's more of a Ranger than he is a Blue Jacket. He played for the Blue Jackets for 2 years.
The last 4 years, the Rangers.
No, it was more than 2 years.
I'm looking at it. It was 2 years.
No way.
17 and 18, 18 and 19.
Wow. I mean, that's crazy.
He's a Ranger, right?
Our boy Connor McDavid. We're all now Oilers fans.
Agreed.
Heavy Oilers fans.
Agreed.
Let's go, McDavid. Bring it home. Do something crazy.
I think I'm an Isles guy the rest of the way.
No.
Miss me with that. They're already out, bro.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they lost to the Hurricanes.
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
He said I'm an Isles guy the rest of the way. That's typical, Lou. They're not even in. Toronto did win a playoff series for the first time since 04? It was a long time.
Yep. Playoff sports. That's mainly what's on my mind. VCon is coming. 2.5 weeks away. That'll be good. I think there should be a decent crossover between people that listen to this show that attend that. 1:37 p.m. we're releasing kind of a NFT blockchain project there. So I've been spending a lot of time working on that, called the 1:37 p.m. key. That's been eating up a lot of my time, and then just spending time in the gym. Right? Just trying to get like you out here.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has been doing his New York City tour. Just really sitting courtside, getting cozy. Not too much on my mind. I'm going to keep it simple today.
I have enjoyed seeing Aaron Rodgers running around New York City at sporting events. It's been really enjoyable for me. Do you like how he was sitting next to Neil deGrasse Tyson at the Ranger game? That was weird.
Yeah, but was the one day he was with was that Lazard that he was sitting with?
Yeah, he was with Lazard, Brees, and Tim
Hall.
Boyle. And Neil deGrasse Tyson right behind them. Imagine that convo. What are those two guys chatting about it in the seats?
That's Alex Deese. Alex DeSimone works with Neil?
I did, yeah.
He probably set that whole thing out. Smart.
He definitely did.
What's on my mind? Couple things. Got to watch a lot of the NFL draft. Definitely, I know we talked about it last week, but loved seeing CJ go too. And it wasn't the dude that can throw a ball 50 yards on his knees, that eats bananas with the peels on and puts mayo in his coffee. Big smoke screen there.
I might have said that. I might have, on paper, said he's not going in the first round.
I don't know if you said that, but props to you if you did.
Thanks.
No need to him down there.
I felt like, obviously I want to see the Texans succeed. I feel like they gave a lot up to come back to number 3. A lot up. Their first round next year, I think they're projected to have the second fewest wins in the NFL. It says the Cardinals right now would be picking 1 and 2 in 2024 because they have the Texans first round pick when they came up to get Will Anderson at 3. So Texans have a lot of draft capital as is. They got in the Watson deal with Cleveland. But yeah, this draft was awesome. Next year's draft is going to be awesome. I'm already waiting. I'm already excited for that. Obviously, big draft guy. I think my first thought was around the implications of trading cards, right? Obviously, that's how I look at a lot of things. Good overall, 2023, we talked about this previously. Someone said, is 2023 the year for Wax? And I definitely feel like this class is set up very nicely for Wax for just a multitude of reasons. One of them being 3 quarterbacks in the top 4 picks. Like, that will matter. That will definitely increase demand for product, as quarterbacks are what people chase. So the fact that you'll likely have 3 day 1 starters in this class on or in this year's product definitely matters. And then you get Bijan going, what do you go, 6th, 8th to the Falcons. You had guys like Jackson, and then Jackson Smith and Jigba. You had Zay Flowers, you had Jordan Addison, you had Quentin Johnson, you had 4
Jamar Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs, for the Lions. You had just a lot of playmakers in the first round, and then you also had guys that like are going to fill in that weren't first round picks, like those 4 wide receivers, those QBs, etc. But you also had guys that'll be like flyers later, like Jay. What's the kid? I don't have the name in front of me, but the kid that the Chiefs took, I think is going to be really, really good. There's a wide receiver the Chiefs took. You have Will Levis, right, 2nd round pick. You had Joey Porter Jr. Like, regardless of what people say, I'm not a Penn State guy. That's all Ty. That dude's going to sell. I mean, his dad won a Super Bowl with the Steelers. He gets drafted to the Steelers. He went to Penn State, like, local kid. Yeah, Rashee Rice, this kid the Chiefs took, watch out. He might be a little sneaky rookie of the year pick. Like, I think he's going to do something. He was working out with Mahomes prior to the draft. But then you have Hendon Hooker going to the Lions. Like, people, again, QBs. People love collecting QBs. So Will Levis in Tennessee, Hendon Hooker in Detroit. Like, those guys, this class is set up perfectly for that. Obviously, some big names in terms of defensive players. So,
little insight into Ryan's brain there from Jay. I was gonna just leave that alone.
Yeah, so I did pick Sky Moore to win it last year. So.
Interesting. He just picks the Patrick Mahomes wide receiver to win Rookie of the Year.
I mean,
that seems like a bad strategy.
It seems like a pretty good strategy. It's just a bet on Patrick Mahomes.
I feel like Sky Moore made a couple plays late because I feel like I kept thinking, oh, Ryan took that guy for Rookie of the Year.
He got hot at the end of the year a little bit.
Yeah, but I think, after the last couple Ohio State wide receivers, I think I should probably just start picking them to win. We've had 3 first rounders in the last 2 years. We're likely going to have 2 more next year. 5 first rounders in 3 years. Like, I'm just like, let's just circle
Who are the 2 next year?
Well, Marvin Harrison in most mock drafts is projected to go top 3. And then Emeka Ibuka.
Yeah,
Emeka was the number 1 receiver. Number 1 receiver in the class out of like Washington, West Coast kid, who would start on every team in America. He just happens to have Marvin Harrison Jr. in front of him.
Yeah.
So who would be your pick for Rookie of the Year right now? You're going to pick Rashee Rice for real?
If I was picking right this second, no, it would be Atlanta. I think Atlanta led the league in rush yards last year, didn't they? Which is so weird. Like, I was reading, there was a thread on Twitter about like what the Falcons did last year with like Patterson, Tyler Algier. Like, Algier's a 5th round pick and like had a great season. And you have all these other needs, and you take, I mean, Bijan's a stud. Like, Bijan's great. But with all the other needs the Falcons have and what they did with lesser guys, it just seemed like a stretch to take Bijan at 8. But Bijan's probably going to be my pick. He's that good.
Yeah, I think it'll be one of those receivers in that mid area in the first round, like Quentin Johnson or Addison or JSN. One of those guys.
And I think that's the thing is like a lot of those guys, like because they went later, like they're all, I mean, Quentin Johnson's with Herbert, like Jordan Addison's with Justin Jefferson and Cousins, and then you've got Zay Flowers going with Lamar, like JSN with DK Metcalf, Lockett, Geno. Like, I think there's a lot of things there. So
yeah. And what's it called? They just got Charbonnet.
Yeah. So perfect. Lou, you set me up for that.
I know what I'm doing.
I like you for that.
We do this for a living.
So speaking on this, right? Like continuing into our next segment here, the NFL draft. Anybody stand out in terms of guys that maybe their value went up that weren't drafted necessarily? Guys that are already on teams, who do you think's value went up or down after this weekend? Anybody stand out to you guys as like, hey, I think there's stuff. The reason I bring that, like, I talked about it before, but like, I think Charbonnet getting drafted to Seattle, I'll be curious to see what that does to Kenneth Walker. They took Charbonnet in the second round, previously at Michigan, transferred to UCLA. But with Kenneth Walker there to take him in the second round, like, I don't know if I don't think it can help Kenneth Walker in his production. Jay said Israel.
That's the guy the Jets drafted. The Jets drafted this home run hitting running back. The number one winner of the NFL draft was Garrett Wilson because he has Aaron Rodgers.
That's what I was going to. Just waiting.
That's the actual answer, but I also will pick somebody else. I like when Ryan throws out these questions that require a lot of critical thinking and just throws them out on the fly.
Sorry, I'm trying to think.
That's all right. I don't know. Let's think about it a little bit. Let's move on to something else.
Well, speaking of that, what?
Wait, hang on. The Eagles are insane.
Oh yeah.
You said what team got better because of the draft?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, my initial thought on it was like guys that you think got hurt or in a better like a guy with a better situation is, well, the Falcons didn't take any QB really high, so they're probably going to give Ritter a chance. So that probably helps Desmond Ritter, right? Like that's a win for Desmond Ritter. Had they taken Will Levis or Hendon Hooker or Dorian Thompson-Robinson, had they taken one of those guys, maybe be like, maybe they're not as high on Desmond Ritter. Now you're like, hey, Desmond Ritter's the guy. So just like stuff like that. Again, Kenneth Walker.
I mean, my takeaway is the Packers legitimately drafted Sean Clifford as their backup quarterback. I mean, they used a real draft pick on him.
What is he, fourth round?
I think he was fifth.
That's not like a real draft pick, Ty. Come on.
Bro, a draft pick is a draft pick.
To be what? What to be?
A draft pick is a draft pick. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna take a quarterback in the fifth round. Like, look at their depth chart. He's their backup to Jordan Love, who's a completely unproven guy.
Jordan Love, man. Yikes.
I guess he is their backup for now. Right?
Like, they took him. Like, bro, you're the backup.
Sean Clifford definitely seems like an NFL type backup guy, like a Chad Henne, like a guy like that.
And it could get sneakier than that. Like, it could be one of these, Vikings situations where all of a sudden they're 0-5 and enter Sean Cliff, turn the season around, and he's an NFL quarterback. Right in your face.
You know, a guy I do think couple guys stand out in terms of good. Christian Watson. Packers obviously don't love drafting wide receivers. They didn't. That's why, poor Aaron Rodgers. They didn't take any wide receivers. He's the clear number one there. Lazard left, who's with obviously you guys in New York now. I think he's in for a big year now. Going to get a lot of the catches there. And then he's got to do something first, but an obvious answer in this is definitely Josh Allen. Like, to get Kincaid in the first round with Dawson Knox and Stephon Diggs and the rest of that Bills offense, like, that's a big weapon. He was the first tight end off the board, like, got comparisons to Travis Kelce before the draft. Like, that's another weapon. Like, I don't know.
They didn't change their team enough. They need to completely remake their team, and they're not doing that. They're just going with, I'm being honest, they're just going with the same strategy they've been going with for the last couple of years. It's not going to work.
Also, the Bills drafted Justin Shorter in the fifth round, who former I think he was the number one wide receiver recruit coming out of high school, went to Penn State, dropped a couple balls in his short tenure there, headed out to Florida. Big body, can kind of play maybe a little tight end, mixed receiver. I think it's someone I'd keep an eye on, to be frank, as a potential real receiver in the league.
Interesting. Yeah. I know his name.
Yeah. He was a beast coming out of high school, just didn't click at Penn State, went to Florida, has done his thing, scored some tutties there, and is just like a real NFL body. Yeah, obviously I know Penn State stuff, and outside of that, the knowledge is limited. But
yeah, either way, I think it was a fun draft, and I'm ready for 2023 Prism to finally come out.
Can I jump in with something?
Yeah.
Erling Haaland is having arguably the best goal-scoring season ever for an English Premier League player.
That's something we didn't talk about, though, Ty, is I think it happened between the last episodes. Man City beat the brakes off Arsenal. Beat the brakes off of them. Like,
Yeah.
I do not follow it. Like, it is not something
I
could tell you who's
super
winning.
late early for Arsenal.
But it looks like it got late early.
Yeah, Manchester City is, I mean, they might just not drop another point. They're in full on
Are they in
Patriots 19-0 mode, just like they're just they're in first.
Is that what it is?
They passed Arsenal. They're just a well-oiled machine. They're
That's
that
awesome.
much better than everyone, including Arsenal right now.
They're like Red
they're
Bull?
going to dance their way. What was that?
Are they like Red Bull?
Yeah.
Like Red Bull.
Red Bull Racing. F1.
Oh, like Red Bull, because I'm thinking Red Bull Leipzig. Red Bull has some football clubs. I'm like,
Right. That's on me. Hand up.
No, that's all right. Red Bull F1 team, speaking of, big weekend happening in Miami. We were there last year. But, they're beating the brakes off everyone. They have the best team. They have the best goal scorer right now. They're going to probably win the Premier League. Strong favorite at this point. It just comes down to Champions League. And if they don't get it done, their season's still going to be a failure, which is a tough pill to swallow. Although, what's hot on the streets now, failure, losing isn't failure. Like, it's just
the fact that he got away for that is insane. He got away with that, and it makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, I saw Portnoy was pretty aggressive at it. Like,
if Dillon Brooks said that, we'd be destroying him.
Yeah, season wasn't a failure. It's a lesson.
We killed LeBron for that. For like 5 years, we still make fun of LeBron.
Yeah, I feel like Ja really got off the hook.
The Grizzlies got off the hook, man. They had those goofy ass dances, and then I'm not even gonna reenact it because it would be a disaster. But like those goofy dances, that's Dillon Brooks talking just talking crazy. Yeah, I ain't scared of no old head. He's 40. Like, I ain't scared of him. Like, he's old. And then he just dusts him. And then he's just like, I don't want to talk. Like, it's wild.
Yeah. The Dillon Brooks thing is a point we've discussed in the past. And for anyone listening, I think it's a learning moment. And we've all, I would say, dealt with it, at least maybe the three of us, and some of the hobby drama, the hob drama that'll happen from time to time, in that people come out of kind of being a little bit known. They talk negative. And because of the way the media works, all of a sudden people like drama. And when people are talking, and then people get addicted to the dopamine of people being interested in them because they're talking. Then they have to keep talking to keep up with that. And then all of a sudden it completely turns because no one cares at a certain point. And if you can't back it up, you're cooked. And that's what happened to Dillon Brooks. He had a moment in the spotlight, all because he was talking to LeBron. And he kept doing it because he was like, well, people are talking about me now. I can make more money. I can do all this stuff. And people didn't realize they didn't care about what he was saying. They cared about the drama. And then he got smoked out, and now he just looks like a clown. And for anyone that engages in negative discourse, beware of that occurring to you.
Yeah. I don't know. People getting off the hook, like Ja got off the hook crazy. Giannis got off the hook crazy.
I mean, like, just think of like the middle of the year for Ja. Like, think of what he went through. Like, beating up a 17-year-old kid. Like, the strip club during like the game. Like,
you really did beat up a 17-year-old kid, huh?
Like, allegedly, like, allegedly did that. These are all allegations. Like, I don't know. I've seen what Pat McAfee's gone through. Like, when you say things like, allegedly, but wild. Just like they were. I mean, John Morant went on ESPN and said, "I'm not scared of anybody in the West," and didn't win a series. Not one.
I mean, it might kind of point towards also, and I know he's got great dudes around him, but Draymond kind of is that dude.
He kind of just rises above the
every time. Every time. He's kind of that dude. He rises above, like he's able to do what everyone wishes they could do.
he's like grandfathered into the
Yeah.
to the acting crazy. Like it's just part of his persona, so people are just cool with it.
Yeah, but Draymond wasn't like like you said, Draymond had other guys around him. Like Draymond had Steph and Clay, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna get it done. And they always got it done. Like the other guys,
he knows how to channel it for like good. It's like it's part of like
good at that?
the whole thing.
But he just got in trouble in the game. Marcus Smart's like that. Like
Marcus
he'll
Smart
just
is
get
a
in the
dog,
mix
and
with
Jay
people.
Crowder's a dog too.
Jay Crowder's a dog too. Yeah, I love
He's
those
just on
guys.
his way out, but Marcus Smart's definitely a dog. But the Celtics, classic performance by the Celtics.
What about Trae
Steph
Young?
is the
Just
guy.
like Trae Young is just not a factor.
Irrelevant. He had a big game. He hit a big shot. They did go to 7.
Congrats.
Don't forget they did go to 7.
at least Trae Young was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Who was that a shot at?
I mean, Luka. They were traded for each
Oh.
other. Like, oh yeah. Trae
Well,
Young.
hold on. Let's be real. I don't think Luka was like the sole factor why they weren't in the playoffs.
Results are results, Ty.
Yeah, I mean,
Bro,
Giannis
In a
isn't the sole factor.
game-
The Bucks didn't go. Like, you either put it on
Bro,
like
they
yeah.
benched their entire team in a game that if they win, they go in. The ownership said,
the
you guys
play-in
are not
game?
playing.
they got
Yeah,
Kyrie
but-
Irving and had a losing record.
Bro,
Are we
The
defending the
Miami Heat-
Mavericks right now? Is that what we're doing?
no, I'm defending Luka versus what the organization forced him to do. Like the
two games.
Miami Heat,
Two games.
Miami Heat had to win to make the play-in. They lost their first game. They were down going into the 4th, and now they're up 1 in the conference semifinals. Mark Cuban decided he would rather not be the Miami Heat for a higher draft pick. That's not Luka's fault.
Definitely not. But it is the result.
They
nonetheless.
literally benched the entire team.
I'm with you 100%. But like, you can't. It is what it is. Like,
yeah.
They shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with.
Yeah, that would be my point.
Okay,
There's only
but I
2
think there's
games.
a little bit more going on there.
Luka's
all I'm
awesome.
saying is all I'm saying is Luka would have accomplished just as much as Trae Young did.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like they would have got
Maybe.
their ass kicked in the playoffs.
And if you're asking me who I would rather have on my team, it's clearly Luka. So I'm not looking to take shots at Luka. He's a much better basketball player. Like Luka's one of the 3 or 4 faces of the NBA. But yeah,
It all comes back to Steph Curry.
Always does.
who
Should we get into some questions?
yeah. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on to questions. I know we got a bunch of them. Jason, we got 9 and we got play of the week. We didn't get to play of the week last week, so we got to get to play of the week this week. All right, card collector 1116. Biggest hobby pet peeve. That's a good question.
Oh, you know what I hate? Because I just got a package, so I'll use this as my time. Maybe this could be like a loose poos as well. I haven't done that in a while. I hate when packages are overtaped. I can't stand it. Like, I get it. I respect you're trying to like keep me safe and like keep my cards safe and all that stuff. But like, if I need a knife to get through the tape, there's a problem.
I hate
Really?
messages.
I'm a big knife guy.
Oh no, I hate that, man. It's like I can't get the piece. I hate that. And you
hate-
got to use painter's tape.
I hate the messages that say, "Hi, can you please send pictures of every single corner and please let me know if there's any scratches, dings, damages, imperfections." Like there's a list of all of these things that could be wrong with this card. Thanks. And it's like if there's a single like the smallest imperfection on this card anywhere, please let me know about it. Like that drives me up the wall. Like ridiculous. Hate it. Absolutely.
Especially when you guys do like a lot of scanning and stuff like that. It's all there.
Yeah, I mean, like a scanner doesn't pick up everything. I mean, like you're not intentionally trying to sell something that's like creased or damaged or dings. Like, and I'm sure like if we took pictures of every single corner of every single card, like you would clearly find things that are not there. So like it might save that, but like just like I mean, eBay's. I mean, these policies are so lenient anyways. On like returns, like it's not hard. And again, mistakes happen, but it's like just the I'm trying to think of the right word for this. The intention behind it that like, hey, if you're not selling me a perfect card, not only am I going to waste your time up front by saying, hey, please let me know about all the imperfections on this card. Please send me all these pictures. Please go above and beyond to provide me this image. those are the same type of people that when they get the card, they're clearly
Return
not
it
gonna,
immediately.
they're not going to be happy with it, and they're going to return it immediately. So they're just going to waste your time double. So F plus for those guys.
For me, it's a good one. The lack of concessions at National.
Oh my God, your biggest.
That's a great take. It's a great take, though.
Every year. Although that breakfast sandwich was sneaky.
We're not getting it back, though.
I know. Other than that,
we should never get it back. Atlantic City was terrible.
Might have bring my own Taylor ham to Chicago this summer.
Remember we talked about, man, somebody walked
set up a little griddle.
Somebody with a griddle and like a griddle and some like drinks walking around.
I did just get a new little grill I could bring with me.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. It's an outdoor electric grill, and it's like a little thing. I can just put it on the table.
We should. We could do card talk pancakes in the morning.
But then all of our cards are going to smell like hot dogs, and shit's nasty.
Houston card collector. Who's your sleeper NFL player that you're buying at before the market gets hot? This is tough. This leads to pumping and dumping allegations. This leads to if you're wrong, like you miss. Like this is terrible.
You've never missed though, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, I bought David Cobb. I bought Martavis Bryant. I bought Nathan Peterman. Oh man, the list is.
Does George Pickens count?
That's a good one.
I like George
the
Pickens.
The Steelers are going 8-8 for the next 7 years. I just hope we're all on the same page.
I really like Kenny, and that people don't like Kenny, but I'm a big fan.
Tyler does not like Kenny Pickett. He's been very
it's a Penn State thing.
It's not a Penn State thing. The guy's a dope.
It absolutely is a Penn State thing. If he went to North Carolina, you'd be all in on Kenny.
Yeah, not Kenny.
Dude, come on, no, the gloves kill me. Come on. Breece Hall coming off the ACL.
That's a good one. I mean, Breece Hall sells well, though, for what he is. That's my only thing. Is Breece Hall sells pretty well. I've been very open about the one player that I believe in for a long time, and my answer is not going to change. Their market is not cheap. Their market is definitely very known. But to me, it is the one person I still continue to buy is Trevor Lawrence. I believe in Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is a top 3 talent in the league. Like, I might be wrong. I get it, and I have a couple nice Trevor Lawrence cards. There's no denying that. Met Trevor Lawrence. He's a good dude. Like, I'm my belief in Trevor Lawrence is very, very high. So for me, it's Trevor Lawrence. But again, it says before their market gets hot, his market's about as hot as it gets. The next one is a cowboy name. How do you guys determine what the rookies are in baseball? Bowman Draft? Lou, I think we've done this. It's been a little while, but this is definitely a you question.
Yeah, I don't totally understand what the...
I think he's saying they're true rookie cards. Like, what is somebody's true rookie card? Like, if you're buying a guy like Yordan Alvarez, what are you looking for Yordan Alvarez?
Oh, I think it's their Major League Baseball jersey rookie card. That's, I think, your true rookie.
So you're saying like Bowman Draft, or you're saying like some like top Series 1, Series 2?
No, yeah, I'm saying like Series 1, Series 2. Or Topps Chrome. There's obviously the Bowman is like the minor league first prospect cards, all that stuff. But if you're asking me if I would rather have a Yordan Alvarez Bowman first or Yordan Alvarez Topps Chrome, I'm probably taking the Topps Chrome. I think
that answer would differ for a lot of people, but
yeah.
JE_LeBron collector. As the big LeBron fan, I would like to say he is the GOAT. What are your thoughts?
He is the GOAT of our generation.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's pretty much all you can say.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron's title run, I mean, what do you go, 9 years in a row, 10 years in a row? He's won with 3 different franchises, all-time scoring record. Like, look what he's doing. We talked about it earlier. Look what he's doing at this age, for sure. Like, the longevity of LeBron James is something that just cannot go understated. Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the NBA Finals, won 3 titles, took 2 years off for whatever reason, came back and won 3 titles and retired.
He was tired.
6-0 in the NBA Finals is hard to argue. Like, and LeBron's played for a couple decades and is going to play with his son at some day. And it's still, I mean, what do you average? Jay, do you know how many points LeBron averaged this year? Was it 27, 28, 29 points? Something crazy LeBron averaged at whatever he is, 37, 38 years old. So I would agree with Lou on that. The GOAT of this generation.
I just want to call out, sometimes moments happen and they pass. And as sports fans, it's almost like that meme, like you didn't realize it was the last time you hung out with your friends outside, and then it was.
Yep.
This Lakers-Warriors series, I think, is pretty special.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
As a cat that typically is in bed of late at 10 o'clock, like, I'm going to be doing everything in my power to make sure I'm watching every minute of this series, because it may be a long time before we see two dudes like that. At this point in their career, the amount of respect you're going to see, I mean, they're going to be playing. It's almost like a chip in some capacity for them. It's LeBron and Steph, baby. And
they don't want to lose.
10 o'clock Eastern tonight. It's 9 o'clock Eastern on Thursday. It's 8:30 p.m. on Saturday. It's going to be great basketball. The Suns Nuggets series, by the way, is great basketball. I'm really excited for this series, and I think it's something that we should be aware of what's happening while it's happening, so we don't look back and are like, damn, that might have been the last time we saw those guys really go at it.
And I think that speaks to, I mean, to give credit to both the NFL/NHL as well as the NFL playoffs, and just like it matters so much in the NFL, right? You get one game, coin flip has decided games. Like, there's so much there, but like the NBA, like, again, Rangers were up 2-0 and lost the series, right? Every single game matters, but the playoffs have been just special. It's
such a good product.
It's crazy. Like, we talk about it all the time, and it sounds cliche, but like, only one team's winning. Only one player's winning. Like, Tatum or Jokic, right? Like, LeBron or Harden. Like, whatever we look at, only one team's winning, and it's just another year that another team, another player does not have a title. That's how special it is. It's cool.
The Celtics aren't winning, though.
Well, both my teams are still alive at the moment, so fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But the teams I picked.
Oh, got it. I was like,
my favorite teams are still in it.
Listen, the Knicks have a massive game. The Knicks have their single biggest basketball game in the last 20 years this evening.
Don't put too much pressure on it or anything.
Guys, Jimmy Butler broke his foot and stayed out there, and we didn't go at him one time with 4.5 minutes to go. It was the most wild basketball I've ever seen, and it will not happen again.
Are you going?
I'm not going tonight. I wish I was. I'm going to hopefully be at Game 5. There's a crew going to Game 4 in Miami, but I don't think I'm going to go to that either.
Ryan McSfeeney says Australian rules football, AFL. What's your guys' take on the sport, cards, and games?
Big fan of the sport. I dated an Australian girl in high school for a while. I got super tight with her dad. They were Australian. They were like pure Aussies. And I watched a decent bit of Australian football leagues with him, Aussie football, Aussie rules football. And I was a fan. I thought it was cool. Since then, haven't tuned in much. It's like a variation of rugby in some capacity. A couple different aspects to it. I don't think it's got too much legs to it here in the States. Can't speak to the cards. I know there's collectors globally, but that's my story about Aussie rules football.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, and I don't have much interest in it.
Could not know any less.
Yeah.
This is not even a close of question right here.
All right, this next one is
in the same time frame. I remember this time in my life very much. I used to watch Gamecast of KD on the Sonics his rookie year at that house. And I knew he was going to be nasty. KD was that dude when he came in the league. And he played 1 year in the Sonics, if I recall, right?
I think 1 or 2.
I thought Panarin was in CBJ for 4 years, so you can't give me my opinion.
Fair. Where's the fact checker?
Anyways, the next question. This is the one Lou was commenting on. It's from B Stores Cardboard. Who's a better buy right now, Jordan Love or Desmond Ritter?
Desmond Ritter objectively has better options around him than Jordan Love does.
Desmond Ritter is also a Vayner Sports client, so I feel like the off-the-field action will be a little bit more tuned up and turned up than Jordan Love. So I have to say Desmond Ritter. That's my guy. I work on his behalf. But there's something to be said about the Packers and collectability of the Packers.
Yeah, so I have a couple opinions on this. The Packers are a much bigger franchise than Atlanta, so that market is much bigger for cards. Like
completely
the upside to both of them winning the Super Bowl is far higher for Jordan Love than it is Desmond Ritter. I'm open to feedback on this. I would say that Jordan Love has the best receiver option out of both teams. I would say Christian Watson is a better receiver than Drake London.
Kyle Pitts?
Kyle Pitts didn't do anything last year. He didn't do anything.
Okay,
Nothing.
so if I told you could have Kyle Pitts right now, or you can have Christian Watson, you're taking Christian Watson?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I'm taking Christian Watson.
That was Ryan Johnson. Let's mark that one down.
100%.
For September.
Christian Watson is a dog.
Ask the audience. I would 1,000%
Kyle
take
Pitts
Christian
is
Watson.
Definitely better than Christian Watson.
Yeah, ask
just not
the
using
owner.
him right.
Yeah, ask the owner. This isn't fantasy football. That was literally what the owner of the team said. We're not trying to get Kyle Pitts targets. This is not fantasy football. Look it up. What's his name? Arthur Blank? Look up Arthur Blank.
Yeah, it's true.
They're not using Kyle Pitts right. Like Kyle Pitts could have some upside. He could be good. They're just not using him.
They're not letting him sniff the rock.
Yeah, now Christian Watson goes from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I can't believe the Rangers.
And you're saying, I mean, Kyle Pitt, like, we don't know what Desmond. Anyways, Desmond Ritter at the price point of Jordan Love, I'd probably take Ritter. Jordan Love stuff's really, really expensive.
Yeah.
I would probably take Ritter I'm going to guess it's a little 2-for-1 special at the moment. So I'd probably take Ritter at the difference in price. But
you guys know Sean Clifford's starting halfway through the season for the Green Bay Packers.
You just got to let it go. There's just no way.
He's just was born to be a rookie veteran.
All I ask is for the same respect when, I wasn't even on Kellen Mond. I just said if the Vikings start 0-6, Kellen Mond's going to get a shot. Like if Sean Clifford doesn't
said the Vikings were going to bench $100 million man.
I said
has been nobody.
How much does Kirk Cousins make a year? Because I'm going to guess it's very close to what Jordan Love just got paid to be the Packers QB this year.
Who throws more touchdowns this year, Clifford or Stroud? That's a good question. Jay? Ty, what do you think?
Is Stroud is he a week 1 starter?
I don't know. That's not important. What's the question is Clifford or Stroud?
It's very important. It's Clifford. I'm going to go Clifford.
Okay, great.
Idiot.
You're so
Jordan
stupid.
Dove. Bro, if Jordan Dove goes
heard.
down in preseason, then what?
I think it still would be Cliffy Stroud. I think Sam Darnold might have more touchdowns this year than Sean Clifford.
He's Dove's making $20 million this year.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like he's getting what's Kirk Cousins getting paid? 20 million, 25?
35?
Oh wow, it's that high. Jeez.
Yeah, easy with the Kellen Mond.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You're telling us Sean Clifford's good. You're telling people Sean Clifford is going to start an NFL game halfway through the season, not from injury.
Yeah, he's getting 35.
He got drafted in the 5th round to be the backup quarterback.
Kellen Mond was in like the 2nd round. Jay, when was Kellen Mond?
This is not a real argument. This is just Penn State versus Ryan's opinions. There's no way we're doing this.
All right, hold on. You can see it though, right? The Packers are a vintage program. They brought in a 7th-year college quarterback. He's made to play there. He's a cheesehead, boys.
He's a cheesehead.
All right, next question. I can't even take this. This is so stupid.
By the way, Jordan Love and Desmond Ritter have the exact same raw Prism card price, $7.
Oh, this is a good question. Will 7223, will Bob Essensa get fired from the Boston Bruins?
Yes.
You would think so. When you have the best record of all time, then you get bounced.
It's a beautiful thing about sports. Did you guys see any of the Game 7?
I watched a little bit.
Did you see what happened in the overtime when Mans made a save with the butt end of his stick? Like, didn't make a save. He got cooked. Blocker side. Didn't even react. And it hit the nub of the goalie stick. and went out, like wide open. Boom, ripped the
see
shot. Keep didn't even see it. It hit off the skinny part of the goalie stick and stayed out. Bruins. If the Bruins score that, they're probably favored to win the Stanley Cup right now. It goes in 99 of 100 times. It hits the nub of the stick. It stays out. Panthers go on and score. Bruins team will probably look fairly different next year.
Yep.
And can be the difference between winning a Stanley Cup or getting fired as the coach. And that's the beautiful thing about sports.
Yep.
What was it, KD? What was the KD foot on the line? 3?
The Nets.
That was Nets.
Yeah, everything changes if they make that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a really good question. This is a good question. Porco Sports Cards. Buy, sell, hold. McDavid, Crosby, Ovechkin.
Ooh-wee.
I'm buying McDavid, I'm selling Crosby, and I'm holding Ovechkin.
I'm buying Ovechkin, I'm selling Crosby, and I'm holding McDavid.
Yeah, one of the two answers. You're selling Crosby for sure, and you're either buying or holding Crosby or Ovechkin or McDavid.
I'm buying Ovi because I just feel he's lower on the heat map right now than McDavid, but long-term is a legend. Obviously, this is a tough one. Crosby's a legend too. I think Ovi's just got a little bit more juice, even though the
McDavid
Penguins
is definitely
serious.
hot. McDavid is definitely hotter right now, Ty, for sure. Just the year he had, I mean, unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, McDavid is just. I mean, look at the start to his career. Look what he's been able to do already. Like, obviously, it looks like Ovi's going to break the goal record in next season or the year after, like 2 years.
Oilers just got to win.
Yeah.
They got to win because Crosby did it. Crosby did that.
Yep.
Now, Crosby also had Malkin, and McDavid has good of, if not a better player in Draisaitl. Yeah.
Draisaitl's not.
No, I know. I was more
I mean,
giving love.
Like
I was like
in the MVP race.
Bro, Draisaitl might be the second best player like in the mix in the league. They're the best power play ever this year.
Yeah. Last question. Oh,
Any
Lou.
difference in there? Where's your Crosby? Give me a little Crosby Ovi take.
Couldn't begin to tell you anything about either of them. So I'll go buy McDavid, sell Ovechkin, and hold Crosby.
Interesting. Is that a Russia thing?
No, but it could be to come up with a reason.
Last question. Peterborough Sports Cards. Hi from England. Minus Bryce and CJ, what drafted QBs do you think could be a sneaky play?
Hooker?
I mean, I think, Hooker is the easy answer for sneaky play. There's been a lot of chatter, though, and I was clear. This is something I was definitely wrong about, like Jared Goff being bad. Like, obviously, Jared Goff had a pretty solid end of the year. I don't think you're going to see Hendon Hooker play immediately unless Goff gets hurt. He's a sneaky play if he gets hurt because the Lions have a lot of talent on that team. Will Levis will likely get some run. Like you didn't draft Will Levis in the start of the second round because you like Malik Willis. You clearly don't like Malik Willis. Malik Willis has no value on the Titans. And you know, there was talks that they were trying to trade Tannehill anyway. So Will Levis is one.
You like Malik Willis though?
No, I think he's better than Tannehill. It's the same argument. Like, at some point you're not going to accomplish anything. Like, the Vikings aren't winning the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. It's not happening. I don't know what to tell you.
At some point you need to commit to a take on these guys because you said you liked them and now you're saying you don't like them. So
it's not that I like them. It's that I think the team will move on from the next guy.
You mean the guy who's like 38 years old? Yeah. Eventually they will move on from him.
Yeah. And eventually you got to have a young guy to see what you've got for them or keep drafting. Like, this is how it works. Either this guy's good or you draft the next guy.
That is how it works.
It's a short.
Eventually, you move on to a new quarterback. Wait, what about Stetson as a potential get some run this year guy?
I like his odds better than I like Sean Clifford.
The Rams.
Odds. Yeah, the Rams. Fourth round. Like,
how do you not see it with Sean Clifford? I mean, that's my answer. Great 5th round draft pick. He was born to play in Green Bay. Have you been to that stadium? It was made for Sean Clifford. It's old. He's old. It's an old franchise.
Tyler, Sean Clifford wasn't even one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the Big Ten this year, and you're trying to tell me that this dude's going to start in the NFL.
Bro,
You can't
there's
get
a
worked
lot
up
of
by the Penn
quarterbacks.
State thing. Like, it's just like not even worth.
If he went to any other team, I'd be like, what are they doing? The Packers make sense.
I think maybe it's time to unleash the video of Christian Hackenberg getting drafted just to explain this reaction from Tyler.
With the 51st pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select quarterback Christian Hackenberg.
I think maybe we should put it in the screen, like right here for 10 seconds.
Lou, for those of us that weren't there, what was that like?
Like, you know, when your team wins a championship and you like squeal, like you make a sound that you can't totally explain. That was Tyler when Christian Hackenberg. I think we should put it in the episode, Tyler. What do you think?
Yeah, we should.
I think it'll like, provide some good context to this situation.
Boys, if I tell you with all my heart, I believe Christian Hackenberg was taking the Jets to a Super Bowl, just because of how life was setting up. I swore Hackenberg was winning the Jets a Super Bowl.
I'm not going to lie. I bought Hackenberg stuff. I'm like, this dude was the #1 quarterback prospect coming out of high school. Penn State goes through all that stuff. He stays committed to the team. You're like, hey, this guy's a loyal guy. Like, he's got it. Football guy. And he goes pro. He goes to the Jets. Jets needed a QB. You know he's going to get playing time. You're like, this guy could be good, man. Could be good.
Did you know they made him an active? You know he never started for the Jets.
Never started. He never threw a pass.
He didn't throw one pass?
He
They
didn't
just put him
register
on
a
ice
pass.
for 2 years.
He was that bad in practice, bro.
There was a
He didn't
video of him
register a
in
pass.
the first summer when he got to the Jets. No one cares about this, but the first summer he got to the Jets in one of the early summer practices, it was like August 3rd. There's a video of him dropping back and he just airmails a pass over a receiver's head. And I was like, we're in trouble.
Ooh, it was tough. It was tough from the jump. Sean
right,
Cliff
so-
will have a different experience. So.
Your best chance is Drew Aller.
I saw him on the Heisman betting board.
Where's he at?
I'm like 7th or 8th, I think.
Wow. That's a donation.
All right. Let's. So Jay says we have play of the week has 4 slides, but then there's 2 bonus slides. So they don't count as plays, but they're cool stories to share. So let's get into play of the week.
Better be cool, Jay.
All right, so this is Worthless Wax. It says, longtime listener, first-time submitter. I bought this lot of 10 1990-91 Panini basketball sticker albums for about $75 during the pandemic. I had every intention of cutting out the stickers and submitting them to PSA, as there's some really cool Michael, Scotty, and other 90 stars, but I never got around to it. I recently listed the whole lot on eBay for around $250 to see if I could get any buyers. Had a couple watchers, and I sent them an offer of $199, and I immediately had a buyer accept. After fees and shipping, I made about $110 profit. Not a whole lot compared to other plays of the weeks, but I've recently had card trouble, so the side hustle of selling cards has definitely helped me out. Love the pod and go Steelers.
Oh,
Ty, he might be a Kenny Pickett guy.
he might be a last name Porter guy.
Yeah.
The Porter dual auto is going to be sweet.
It's a cool play. I didn't even know these were a thing.
I don't even know what these are. Yeah, I do. I lied. I know what those are.
I don't know if I've ever seen those.
I like to play. Different. I don't think we've seen this on here before.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing. Another one, though, sold via promoted listings.
I think people just use that. Like, it's just something that we've never used, but it's clearly used by most people. And they
No, wait.
Right.
Real quick. Lou's sending this video in this chat. Oh, God. That's a young Ty, and he is ecstatic.
Let's hear the scream at the end.
That scream at the end. That video is like 3 seconds away from being the best video of all time.
Enter.
Dude. Anyways, next one.
Enter hack.
I can't wait.
Oh
for
my
that.
goodness. That was something.
All right. And
hold on. Go back one. On some card stuff. Right. Talk to me about the sending offers to watchers.
Underutilized resource. We don't utilize it enough, for sure. We have like 1,350 things listed on eBay. So this will just tell you a little insight into my world and how much it's changed over the years in cards. So let's say 5 years ago, right? I did a video yesterday. Oh, here, Ty Sky. So let's say I list this on eBay for
Let's go.
$9.99 on release day, right? Score comes out. We've talked about this before. This is perfect. This is a score Kenny Pickett rookie for those that are listening and not watching. I have a pile of cards here. I got a Kenny Pickett score rookie. So back in the day, what I might do is I might take this Kenny Pickett score rookie and I might find some of my other Steelers cards. I don't have any of here, of course. And I might make a little lot and I might post it on release day for like $15 or best offer, right? Well, back in the day when how eBay used to work is that you could list it for like a set amount of days. So a lot of the times what we would do like on newer stuff is list it for like 10 days. Sometimes you would do 30. Well, what happened is after that time period, the listing would end. So what we would do is anything that wasn't left or anything that was left after that time period, we would relist at a lower price. So instead of this going up for $15, we might just lower it to like $7.99, $9.99, straight buy it now, no offer, just give a major discount and relist it. Well, the problem is with eBay's policies now, with eBay's like how their profile works or how their platform works, is it auto relists. Unless this has changed, and I don't know about this, where you can set it to 30 days, I'm almost positive it automatically relists everything on buy it nows. What happens is like if I list this Kenny Pickett right now on release day for $15 and it doesn't sell, we'll just relist it. My number one priority at the moment is not going in every 30 days and checking which eBay listings were renewed, which eBay listings didn't get renewed. So we're not updating the prices on things on eBay on a consistent basis. And it almost never happens. So where this feature is nice, again, and underutilized in our business, is what you can do is you can go in and you can be like, oh, this Kenny Pickett's been up for a long time. It's not worth $15. I would sell it for $8. And you can send an offer on eBay to eligible or to interested buyers. I don't know if it's anybody that's watched it, I don't know how that works.
You have to mark yourself as a watcher because I do it as a buyer.
Yeah, it's a watcher.
So it's a watcher, right? And it sends the offer to them and says, hey, the seller is willing to give you 50% off on this for $8. Click now to accept. And sometimes you can allow counters, sometimes not. Like I'm not 100, like I've only done it a few times, but it's a nice way to sell things that you're like, this has been up too long. Rather than lower it, we're just going to send a buyer offer to buyers and hope to sell it. So it's kind of, I think, eBay's way to allow you to move things without having to end it, relist it at a lower price, etc.
I also use it as a buyer because there's a lot of times when cards are listed as just buy it now with no offer capability. When you mark yourself as a watcher, it usually sends the seller a notification, and then you, like you're saying, you could send that person. It's the only way to communicate and make an offer with each other for a buy it now if they're not going to answer messages too.
Yep. All right, what's next?
Thank you for that. It was just a little something, and a couple people have DM'd me recently about people making offers on watchers and sharing me stuff. So I thought that was a neat anecdote about how you made that sale.
This is from NF Cards. He says, back in February, I bought this Anthony Richardson auto out of 2 from a Canadian seller on auction. Where'd it go? I won the card for $36, and it was $49 after taxes and fees. I listed up high as draft time approached and got some watchers. Finally, Sunday night, after I got an offer of $300, I happily accepted. After everything, I got about $207 in profit. I flipped a few of his autos and kept some for the PC, but it goes to show you there's plenty of profitability flipping leading up to the draft season now that players have releases while they are in college.
I mean, this is something we've been talking about doing every year around draft time, right?
We talked about this when I was in London or wherever filming before. We talked about this when Bowman Chrome came out, and I told Jay to mark it. We should have done that because I remember I talked about this. I'm glad we brought this up. I talked about this on a Card Talk episode where I'm like, hey, someone's like, hey, what do you do? Like, what's an opportunity to flip in the short term? And it was like, hey, these guys are going to get drafted. If there's somebody you believe in, you can buy their stuff now and flip it when the draft comes around. There's probably a lot of opportunities for that.
You don't even have to believe in them long term. You just have to understand that they're going to go in the first round and you're going to make money.
Yep, 100%.
It's just the reality of the situation.
Yep.
Good work. But it still required people to activate on it, which is what NF Cards did. So,
wasn't there something about Anthony Richardson's like 12-year-old brother was like iced out with tattoos?
Really?
In the post game? Looking like a dog. I heard it was looking like a beast, like a potential #1 pick.
13-year-old brother goes viral for having a deep voice. Oh, I did see this kid. Yeah.
Oh, Anthony Richardson's brother. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Beast.
All right, what's next? Oh, here's the long one.
Oh.
JE_LeBron collector.
It's a question and a submission in the same episode.
This submission is a little different than my normal ones, but here it goes. I have collected LeBron ever since he was drafted. I picked up this totally certified die cut at a 74 BGS 9 well over 10 years ago for $45, never thinking it would leave my PC. Last week, someone messaged me asking if I had this card. I replied yes, but wasn't planning on moving it unless it was a really strong offer. The guy that I was talking to was building the set, and LeBron's card was one of the last few we needed. We came to a price of $625 net to me after shipping. I was super happy with a net profit of $580. This was the first part of the play. I turned around and got to talking to a guy in a Facebook group wanting to move his LeBron 2020 Elephant Prism PSA 10. He wanted to move it fast for a new PC item. I saw that he was asking $550. I knew these went for more, so I offered him $515 shipped. He accepted the offer and the deal was done. At the end of the day, I was able to sell a $45 card for $625 and turn around and buy a card that comps at around $625 for $515. This left me with $115 to spend on another PC card down the road. Sorry for the long submission, but this one shows that sometimes it's okay to move PC cards for ones that you like and still make it a profit on the side. Thanks, guys, and keep up the great work. Wow.
Love it.
It's a great job.
Play. Facebook groups for the win, selling for a win, holding something for 10 years for a nice 10x, big win. LeBron.
10x,
win.
like 15, that's crazy. That's insane.
45, yeah.
Yeah, 13.8.
Yeah, that's a good job. Almost 13.7. You know, every time I play golf and they, like if I play with a caddy and they're like 139 yards, I look at them, I'm like, can you just say 137 yards? And then I flush it. It's a nice play. I like Jeremy's game.
I'd never seen that LeBron card before until right now.
The die
Oh,
cut?
no way. Mine got delivered.
Oh, here we go. This is the one I missed out on. You guys even put this in the group chat, and I messed up on this. Man. Shout out to this guy's name. Who's his profile picture?
Looks like Jimmy G.
It's not Jimmy G.
That's not Jimmy G?
Jay, can you see who it is? I can't see.
Oh, no, it's Bryce Harper. It's Bryce Harper.
Okay. His name is All My Cards Suck. Man, this guy, I like this guy already. He says, sorry for the long message, Ryan. Looks like Tyler's probably going to read this one.
All right, let me jump in here.
Okay.
While I was finishing up at work a few weeks back, I saw that Leaf had listed cards of bowling legend Pete Weber and with his amazing quote, "Who do you think you are? I am," inscribed on them. I'm a huge fan of out-of-the-box pop culture cards and collecting stuff you don't see every day. And when I saw these posted, I knew I had to jump on them. Snuck off to hide in the bathroom. Don't act like you haven't been there before. It's a great. Bought 5 of these for $260 total and returned back to my desk. No one was the wiser. While I love buying sports cards, I love pop culture cards as well because they reach a wider non-sport audience, and they are the only cards that my girlfriend finds remotely interesting. I was planning on holding these for a while, but when I saw they sold out immediately and were being listed for crazy prices, I knew I needed to capitalize and listed one on eBay with a starting bid of $200. I woke up and had an offer for $225, which I accepted, and after fees made $199, practically paying for 4 of the cards. I decided to wait a few days before listing a second one to see if the hype would die down or would these go viral and sell for more. I saw Court post about it on the Card Talk Instagram, shout out Court, and figured now was as good a time as any. I listed the second one with a starting bid of $210, and it eventually sold for $250. However, the buyer backed out. The fact that they sold $400 and are now allegedly shipping them blind in packs caused the buyer to change their mind. I sold it again as open of $300 for $210 after auction, where I made $186 after fees. In total, I netted $125 profit after fees in the purchase of these 5 cards. And I still have 3 cards left, which I plan on giving one to my future brother-in-law and one to my best friend and keeping one for myself. The other play of the week submitters All I have to say is, who do you think you are? I am. I love it.
The only thing we didn't, the only thing we didn't get in this was, did he get one of the ones out of 100?
You don't know. They're just shipping now. Mine just got here yesterday. It's at the office. I don't have it with me, but there's no way to know. But that's why I don't get it. Like all these people what's going to happen is people are going to cancel orders, which is shitty, but it's what's going to happen. But how could you list a car that you don't know what it is?
They listed it, meaning sight unseen.
They don't know if it's the of 100 or the of 300.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right, so Ty has to run real quick. Lou and I are going to finish this.
Yep.
Ty,
pick a winner though.
Before you
Scroll
go.
through real quick, Jay. Or not?
I think it's the LeBron. I like the Anthony Richardson one because I like that. I've done that for years. I love the Anthony Richardson play.
Yeah.
I like the stickers with like needing a car trouble. We've done that before. Like having stuff to pay for bills when needed is nice. Obviously, the Pete Weber's cool. I wish we would have known what the Pete Weber's were, but I think the LeBron one's cool, turning one PC card into another. So I'm going to go the LeBron.
I'm aligned. Bron.
I'm with it.
All right. So Ty's got to run.
Love you,
Appreciate
gang.
you, Ty.
See you.
We got
Bye, Ty.
a couple more. We'll wrap up here real quick. And then we'll finish this up. All right. So this is from Cards According to Me. It says submission for play of the week. I got back into collecting. Wait. Real quick. He says submission for play of the week, but Jay says it's a bonus entry and doesn't count.
Yeah, because you guys would never accept this as a play of the week submission, and you'll see why. Just read it out. It's
not sold.
Lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't sell it. It's just a break story, but it's a cool story.
All right. Submission for play of the week. I just got back into collecting last year after a 30-year hiatus. I only buy singles. I never buy wax. Soccer is my PC, and with the release of Donruss last week, I felt the urge to buy a box. Went to my local card shop, Kaboom Bros Cards, and bought one of their last 2 boxes. I then sat at the bar, yes bar, because the shop is on the second floor of a sports bar, for an hour or so, talking with the owner. Then decided to start ripping. I was 3 packs in and said, this one has a Kaboom. Sure enough, I was right. I was excited to hit my first Kaboom in my first box in 30 years. I kept ripping, hitting many nice parallels. Then came the 1-of-1 Marcus Rashford. I couldn't believe it. I was running around the bar saying 1-of-1, 1-of-1. I also had an out of 10, so absolutely murdered that one box. What a great way to come back to ripping wax. I haven't listed any cards yet, as I'm still reveling in my treasures.
Reveling.
Yeah, you got to love some beginner's luck, right? Like first box back, and he rips a Kaboom, a Marcus Rashford 1-of-1.
That's unbelievable.
It's just, I haven't hit a box like that ever in my life, and this guy first box back. That's amazing.
That's stuff that definitely gets you addicted, though.
Oh, for sure. He's chasing this forever. But I want to talk a little bit more about the card store inside of a sports bar. That's kind of a very interesting.
Very interesting idea.
I'm looking at a picture of it right now. It's like the nicest looking card store I've ever seen because
that's why
restaurant.
I knew you were going to love this one because the thought of just crushing beers like during a game and being able to go upstairs and buy a box is very dangerous.
Seems like degenerate season.
It's super degenerate.
Respectfully, everybody is responsible for their own decisions.
All right, what's next, Jay?
Oh, what's going on here?
Oh, this got a lot going on. Monstar Collectibles. A little over 2 years ago, I got the greatest PC item I could ever ask for. I remember Lou mentioning Mac memorabilia, so I thought this would be cool. I won this Kobe Auto Raw in a Raz before he passed on a $20 spot. I graded it. It came back at BGS 8.5. So real quick, because he doesn't talk about the card, it's a Kobe Dominion Jersey Auto on card. It's BGS 8.5 grade, but it's got a nice purple swatch. So cool looking Kobe. Continuing on. It says, I saw a buddy of mine had some Mac Miller memorabilia available, so being a huge fan, I thought I'd ask him about a trade. A Blues Slide Park signed CD with a JSA letter authentication he had valued at $4,000 or best offer. I had my Kobe valued at $3,500. We met on a deal where I gave them, or we met on a deal at the Mac Miller and $350 cash for the BGS 8.5 Kobe. I know this was a long time ago, but I've been a long time listener and love hearing the plays while people turn their profit into a girl piece.
I love this play. I would make this trade all day long.
Yeah, so you basically bought a Kobe for $20 in a Raz spot pre-pandemic, pre-Kobe passing, and then you kept it for years. You talked about Mac Miller. He's like, oh, that would be cool. I'd love some Mac Miller. Found out a buddy had some Mac Miller, traded a Kobe at $20 in for a Mac Miller piece that he can enjoy.
All day. I love that play.
Dude,
I love getting
that is like ultimate nostalgia. Like, rest in peace, Mac Miller. Like, listening to Mac Miller, like in high school, like in my,
Blue Slide Park was a big deal for me.
Car,
I'm just gonna
like,
be honest about that.
Dude, jamming.
Yeah. It's a great trade. I love this trade. It's a win
Yep.
for all sides.
Yep. Yeah, and Jay said 2 legends gone too soon.
Facts.
All right. Well, we don't
Releases?
have. What's the matter?
Releases?
Yeah, there's not a lot coming out this week. It's actually a pretty light release week for the first time in a minute.
Well, because last week was so heavy, right?
Last week was definitely heavy, but there's not a lot coming out this week. You've got Leaf Vivid Baseball. You've got the biggest one is probably going to be Panini Select Premier League Soccer. Select anything, and it's Premier League. That'll likely have Haaland in it. You've got Panini Stars and Stripes Baseball, Leaf Multigraphs, Basketball, Crown Zenith Premium Figure Collection, Pokemon Salazar EX, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cyberstorm Access, and that's about it. One thing I did want to say, it's been a little, obviously I had Reg's baby shower this weekend, so it hasn't been on my mind a lot, but what is today, the 2nd? Thursday is 2 years at the new spot.
Wow. Congrats.
Yeah. Thanks, dude. So that's
Pretty cool.
it's unfortunate there's not a bigger release this week. That would have been cool to have in shop this weekend, but yeah, we'll likely have some stuff going on in shop this week. But yeah, 2 years at the new spot.
Congrats, man.
Time flies.
We didn't talk about Golden Touch.
Oh, Golden Touch. Gotcha. I didn't hear what you said. I watched the first 2 episodes.
I think it's pretty fun. It's right. It's like a fun show.
Yes. Yeah, it's cool. I like that it talks about a lot of like different collectibles, not just cards.
Yeah.
I know we kind of talked about that before. You saw like the Max, you saw the Beanie Babies, the Steph Curry gold, Jackie Robinson jersey. So that's what I like about it, is that it's not just cards, but it definitely has a good, card base to it. So yeah, it's cool. I've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, I would like to see more of the chase of finding them, like the memorabilia. A lot of times it was kind of like it was presented in front of them and they had to go find it or whatever, but it was kind of already set up a little bit. I would love to know the background of the relationships, but like the item scouts, I forget what their actual title is, but that father and son, like I just I could do 4 hours with just them in the car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would love
like a little spin-off series.
Yeah, just give me those 2 guys on the road finding cards and memorabilia, and I'm locked in.
Ooh, yeah, that guy in Puerto Rico with that jersey collection.
Oh, insane!
Unbelievable. I've never seen a collection like that in my life. He was just like, oh, I got, he had like 4 huge racks. You're probably not on it yet, right? Because it's episode
I haven't seen that episode. So shout out to Jay for spoiling it.
Spoiler alert, they sell memorabilia in the Golden Touch, and it's really nice memorabilia, right? So hopefully we'll be caught up on that by next week's episode. We could talk about it a little bit more. But I did enjoy the show, and I think they did a great job. And it's definitely not like it's not like what people I guess thought it was gonna be. Like I think people thought it might have been like a more heavy hobby show, but it's not about that. It's about like the whole wide world of collectibles, and it's an audience of people who don't necessarily know all of those things. So it has to be a little bit more higher level and more entertainment. And it was good. Like I also thought it was like, I don't know. Yeah,
it's also a good thing for the hobby. Like it's a lot of attention for the market in general. So
yeah, and it's stuff we would never see otherwise. The process of you'll get to it, but the process of the LeBron triple logo man was in there. You got all that stuff. It was good.
You've watched all 6?
I've watched all 6. Yeah, I have no life.
I'll watch the other one soon.
Yeah.
All right, fun episode. Shout out to everybody who made it this far.
Peace and love.
See you guys next week.